Hello and welcome to Crossout, where games get what they deserve. Surprisingly, there are a lot of new games that get overlooked.
Death Track Resurrection is a remake of the game Death Track that was released in '89 back on the PC. The game features different race modes, from the campaign racing to the quick race and drag racing, and some challenge missions. You will be racing across 10 cities of the globe, such as New York, Moscow, and even the Vatican. There are 10 cars in the game, and the customization is pretty much only about the upgrade selection and weapon selection. For example, the primary weapons have 3 types, which are laser guns, plasma rifles, and machine guns. The controls are a bit slippery and take some getting used to, but when you're used to it, the game is fun and really enjoyable. You can race most of the modes in different race types, such as Modern, Classic, and Rally. Modern is the simplest of them all because you have a lot of power-ups to pick up and your car gets respawned if you get destroyed. Classic is more of rigid type and is more accurate to the old type, to the original Death Track. You have only one life, so if you get destroyed, you're out of the race. Same with the opponents, of course. And you can only find reload bonuses on the track. Rally is pretty much like every other simple racing game, which disables your weapons, so you race to see if your car is better than the others. The graphics are really good because it's a new game, and there is a really huge gap between the lowest setting and the highest settings, so even moderate computers can run this game fine. The sound score is original and written specifically for the game by Try-On Productions, and it really feels and sets the mood, and it's really nice for background, and personally I really like the main theme. Overall, if you enjoy racing games, you should give this game a try because it's racing at its finest, and the weapons get more strategy to the game than you usually think. So if you really think that you might enjoy it, you should give it a check, maybe just a rental or something, to see if you like it.
This is the game tour showcase for the Death Track Resurrection. Now I'm going to show you the cars that the game has to offer. Of course, not all cars are unlocked from the beginning, and as you can see, you need to buy most of them. You start with the Turbo Shark, which is the topmost car, and unlock them in random order. As you can see, some of the cars I have are tuned, while the stocks have pretty much the same statistics, but I think they do behave differently because they also cost differently. But even if not, it's interesting to change livery from time to time. Now, one thing I want to note that for some reason game makers and filmmakers always want to make the future sport as violent as possible. For example, like Future Sport or Rollerball or Death Race are great movie examples, while this game and Unreal Tournament are video game examples for that. Now, these are some of the tracks, these are all of the tracks actually gonna be seen in this game. They are about the most influential capitals of the world, like London and Bangkok. There are reversed variations of some of the tracks, but I'm going to show it Paris. Now, as you can see, I'm racing in Classic, and it is my personally favorite mode because you just get one life, and it really depends on you to survive there, and it's more realistic because if an enemy is down, he's down for good. Now, while I was recording, the record software caused a little steering lag at the beginning, so I wasn't brilliant on it. But as you can see, my car sprints forward pretty easily, so I think there is a difference in the cars. Now, the trucks are very big, and only when I made this video I noticed how long they are. There are targets of the track which if you shoot you get bonus points, and also when you jump off a ramp, as you can see, you can perform aerial stunts with mashing of the steering buttons, and you also can make flips and stuff, which gives you more points, of course. And on the track there are a lot of barrels, which when you shoot them explode and set everything on fire, but that exploding each of them gives you some points, and being the one who explodes the last one, if I remember it correctly, that gives you some bonus points also. Now, as you can see, it's pretty much apocalyptic with rampart, anti-air guns shooting in the air, and the city is pretty much in ruins. So here I destroyed one of the local ornaments, which just collapses with a nice video effect and gives me a lot of points. So it is something you should do. Now when you try to fire catches fire, it receives some damage and it just looks cool. More blowing up stuff. It's like you're gonna do it a lot in this game, so get ready to see a lot of pyrotechnics. As you can see, the graphics are really nice, and this is not even the highest settings of the game because my computer can't pull off the maximum settings. Now, as you can see, you have three types of weapons, one of which you're laying behind you, which can be a mine or spikes. The next one is the homing weapon, which could be a missile or some kind of torpedo thing that shoots from your wheels, and the primary weapon, which is a machine gun or a laser gun or a plasma gun. My setting is pretty basic, which is the machine gun, rocket launcher, and mines. As you can, sometimes your opponents pop up to say something to you. It's usually nothing interesting, like mocking you and whining if you ram them. But I have to admit that the Korean guy driving the blue car is kind of a gentleman, though he is quite violent on the track. He's a very polite person, and he's nice to you if you mess up and stuff, and has to be careful. But yeah, he won't hesitate to ram you off the road if needed. Now, while racing you can have some sightseeing, which is also nice. So if you couldn't visit Paris in real life, you can just do it here and see a post-apocalyptic version of it. Now, there is a warning about mines that you can run into. When the mines come into your sight, there's a little orange arrow above them indicating they're there for a brief moment, but then disappears, so you should pay attention to that. Later levels of mines have EMP effects and that paralyze your car for a brief moment, and of course cause more damage and have a wider area of effect. Every driver has his own car, of course, and each of them has a story, but it's not really important. It's just a nice feature. If you want to read it, you can just enter the galleries and it's there. So it's pretty entertaining, but it's pretty basic also.
That's it for today, and this is Crossout, bringing games that you missed to the spotlight.